Jo, det er helt sinnssykt fett. Det som var funny når vi hadde alle publikummene, det var sånn...
I think Don't Bother for me is like a post-breakup celebration.
Don't Bother was the first song we tracked.
Was something that started out as a whole nother song.
But it didn't sound like Don't Bother is sounding right now at all.
The first version was a bit shit, I think.
And it was like a... That's the start of Don't Bother, first version.
We showed it to the label.
They were like, yeah, so you got any other songs? Kind of.
You know, I agree. It was not the best song.
But when we did that, we got a chorus down that we were really into, which is kind of the same vibe as you hear it now on the record.
So we took that as a hint and yeah, kind of remade it.
We kept on working on it and just made it a lot simpler, much more up-tempo. Added this sort of a new feeling, a new beat to it. You know, the... Then we came up with the new riff, which is as simple as you're gonna get, you know.
Like almost like driving a muscle car, you know. Fast forward, straight ahead, nothing could stop you.
So when we had finished like the arrangement and the song and rehearsed it, we went into the studio. There's a studio in Rygge, which is called Fat Cat Studios, where we have recorded before.
It's my favorite room to play in because the drums sound really good in there.
Shout out to Sigve Bull, the greatest engineer, the greatest guy.
He just dials up amazing rock drum sound in a really short amount of time. So we got there, we just set it up, made a couple of tweaks, and then started recording right away. Me and Lars like to record the drums and the bass at the same time. I think it gives much more of a live feeling to the whole performance.
I think we play better when we play with each other, so we like to record them together.
And also it's just much more fun too. We can look at each other and communicate while we're playing, like in the transitions of the song. Yeah, we play a lot better when we're together.
So Don't Bother is kind of a revenge breakup song, which I think really many people can relate to. It's about when you finally are over a person, when you start doing well in life after a breakup, and then they just come sneaking back up on you, just wanting to be a part of your life again in some toxic way. At that time you just know that it's not good for you, but there's some struggle there because it was maybe good at some point. I think people can relate to that in today's society. It's never single people having like one relation. They're always talking to several other people, and the realness of getting to know one another is kind of toned down, and I don't like it. Simple as that.
Since this was the first song that we recorded and produced, I wanted to get some help with the production just to get us started. So we got some help from Lars Gussiås, a good friend of ours. He's a great producer, and he helped us, you know, getting started with recordings, getting some tones, some extra productions, and a lot of ambient guitars.
So we tried a lot of single notes bend with a lot of reverb.
as well as some synths and the bridge, just to give the bridge a different vibe, because the song up until that point have been much more of like a super heavy rock and roll song, and we wanted the bridge to have a completely different vibe.
I even found the violin bow, and I sat on top of the guitar and I can stroke it up and down to make some nightmare sounds.
Never say stroke it up and down again.
It's always fun to bring good friends of you around to help you make it better.
So we actually got a good friend of Torje to help us. Shout out Thomas, to help us a bit with the guitar tones.
I think that's one thing that we really like to do, is bring people in that can add something to the song that you can't do yourself.
A really special moment for me was the first session we had creatively together, because I struggled with imposter syndrome.
I think Øyvind was really nervous because he hadn't recorded that much guitar before.
But the guys were really patient and really nice with me. And we had a session at Lars's old studio. And I remember I was so nervous, feeling like this was going to be so bad and they were going to kick me out before I even started playing. But somehow I nailed it. And we started... Encouragement from my drummer here.
Over the course of the making of the record, he just became even better at it. Bringing new stuff to the table, new sounds, new tones, and we just kept on adding stuff throughout the song, like to keep the energy up, like gang vocals, extra guitar layering, extra percussion.
We were making some screams in the background, and we had this I think the energy of the verses comes out really well with my voice, and I feel like we cracked some codes there, so I'm really happy with that, that song being the first song that we recorded for the rest of the album, because without that one I think it would have maybe been a more polished sound for the rest of the song, so really happy with that.
So yeah, that's Don't Bother.